various models which they are talking about post-lockdown. It is a V model where just in few quarters the recovery will happen, or it is a U model where it will take multiple quarters before the recovery can happen. Then there is an L model where recovery will not happen, and then there is a W where the virus will keep coming and the recovery will be spiral. So for me, it's just a slow and painful recovery. But what is your opinion from the retail industry perspective as an overall and specific to India? And how agile is the retail industry? So Rishi, why don't you start the discussion first?
Awesome. Thank you for the good introduction, and thanks for having me here. Uh, I think recovery is going to be slow. It's not something that it will jump up. We might see uh, lockdowns happening on and off. It may not be a countrywide lockdown. It might happen in certain areas, specific areas, and they reopen after a few days or few weeks. So I think recovery is going to be slow. We are in challenging times, and we need to work out new models. We need to kind of relook at our numbers and forecast accordingly.
Oh, so Graham, do you agree with what Rishi has said that it will?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I completely agree with what Mr. Rishi said. Like, it's definitely going to take some time for all of us to recover.
Good. So Nitin, is the picture that optimistic? What Rishi and Graham is saying about it, or there is some twist and turn into this picture?
Yeah, I tend to agree with Rishi and Graham in a way, but I would like to further dissect this into offline and online. Online is something that may recover much faster than the offline business. Offline is something that it will take time. I think anywhere close to 8 to 10 months from now. Simply because there are lockdowns, malls wouldn't be open, high streets closed, and employment from there on with all the fashion assistants and from there on. So I think so I think online will recover faster than the offline business. So that's my takeaway from this.
Okay, good. So you are more optimistic about the online, which is also a fact of life now. So just extending it further, what is the chemistry of offline and online in the retail will change post lockdown, Nitin? That what is the current pie of the online versus offline, and how the pie will change in coming quarters? What is your take, Nitin?
So as of now, I would say if I look at the pie, it's about a 40-60 ratio in terms of the offline and online business. I think that will definitely, as I told you earlier, that will flip, and I think I would give more weightage to the online business. Yes, that's my take on this.
So Rishi, interestingly, you shifted from Flipkart Mintra to lifestyle. So what is your take on this online and offline pie?
I think technology will definitely play an important role even in the offline business. Uh, I personally feel that omni-commerce would be more active than ever because retailers would look at liquidating stocks which are lying at the stores rather than shipping it straight from from the warehouse. Keeping stocks in the warehouse or keeping
So Rishi,
stocks
interestingly,
which
you
are
shifted from
not
Flipkart
realizing
Mintra to lifestyle.
cash
So what
quickly
is your take on this online and offline?
is gonna be the killer. So I don't think anyone should practice or anyone will practice keeping separate stocks for online. So offline will possibly do the feeding. Online might just kind of activate the process of sale and fulfillment.
But majority of the retails are currently offline in India, and even after this lockdown, they will be running shortage of cash. So how do you think that they will be able to proceed towards the omni channel, post lockdown for the majority of the retails in India, Rishi?
So I think there will be technology which will come and enable retail. If you look at in the wholesale side, we have seen apps like Udan which have come in. Now I guess that something similar will come in the retail space and will possibly help get those retailers online at a fraction of a cost. So they don't need to invest in a large what do you call portal for themselves. There might be a scenario where it's looking like a multi-brand shop, um, uh, by enabled through apps.
So Nitin, what do you think? Because Ace Turtle has provided a lot of solutions to a lot of retail companies. Do you see the requests are coming from offline, traditional offline retails, or what is your take on it?
So we are getting up. See, technically an omni-channel where we kind of facilitate both channels and ensure that there is high productivity for the retail industry. I think we'll have a huge role to play, and we have the first movers advantage in the omni-channel sector. We have been getting a lot of requests from a lot of retailers, including BIL and Flipkart and Lifestyle and a whole lot of these companies where they have brick and mortar and the online business. So I think, as I said earlier as well, so these stores and outlets will continue to kind of function as extended warehouses, if I may say, till such time things get a little bit more relaxed. Omnichannel is going to play a big role in the future.
Okay. Good. So Graham, I have a question because normally whenever the recession happens and we are into the recession, there is always a consolidation in the industry. So sometimes it's an aggressive acquisition, sometimes it's a consolidation, sometimes it's a merger. So how is the global landscape of retail industry vis-a-vis consolidation or aggressive acquisition looks like post-lockdown?
I somehow believe that like post lockdown, it's completely depend on the strategy what we build on the retail market. I think we should focus more on an online market compared to the local thing. Yeah.
So do you agree there are multiple players in the retail and it will consolidate to few major ones and the minor ones are just feeding into the major one? Or what is your take on that? How is the situation in UK on the rest of the Western world?
Sorry, come again,
How
Mr.
is
Smith?
the retail situation or scenario evolving post lockdown as far as consolidation or acquisition is concerned in the retail industry?
I think, most of us are already adapted to the online, like shopping or the marketing. I think like people should adapt to the technology, and we should take this further.
Okay. So Rishi, what is the take from India market perspective? Do you see more consolidation will happen, or it because it will take a lot more time before they think about it?
So there will be there would definitely be a lot of disturbance, and I feel that consolidation will happen in the days to come. A lot of collaborations, a lot of kind of new models would emerge. We may not see retail in its form as we see today. Uh, it's difficult to say how it will shape up, but coming back to your question, I think the consolidation is definitely looking very visible.
Okay, good. So, gentlemen, we had a very interesting discussion, and we all are walking away with a lot of takeaways, whatever we are gaining it from it, and we will certainly apply in our respective companies. So, before we close this, I'm opening up for the Q&A sessions. So, there are some questions which have been posted, and then I will be asking each panelist to answer against those questions. Okay, so the first question goes to Graham. So Graham, the question is that which is the bigger? The question is that as we continue to feel post-COVID due to trauma, fear of second wave, social distancing, all those things which are happening, how should offline retail morph itself to continue to rule India? Graham?
I think like as I said before, like most of them have already like started using the technology. I think like we should take it more online than we start the offline business.
Okay. Rishi, you have to give any further addition to the flavor of answer which Graham has given.
So I'll keep coming back to technology playing an important role. Certainly, people may find it difficult to come into crowded spaces, or they may fear to come into crowded spaces. So it's wait and watch.
Okay. So thank you, gentlemen, and so Graham, Rishi, Nitin. It was really excellent to chat with you, and I'm sure everybody has got a lot of benefits out of this one. So with this, we end this webinar on retail in the post-lockdown situation. Thank you.
Thank you.